All right, we're hitting record, but to suggest that I know that this is going to work might be considered a lie. Just gonna keep the bag right here, I guess. So this is take 2 for the day. Had a whole setup going. Someplace there was a nice lake, and then my wife called and her car had died. So I had to drive to Jumper, not like Jumper, but we bought jumper cables because we're still just children when it comes down to it. We're supposed to be adults at this point, but who knows? So there's really 2 things that I look for to decide if I'm going to be shooting manually or in autofocus. Are there things that are going to get in the way of my subject, and how fast do I want this to look? If I want to slow the footage down, I'm almost always going to shoot that manually because I'm going to be trying to lock on for like a specific shot that is going to be enhanced by slow motion. If there are things in front of me, then I have to be aware that I'm going to have to be changing my focus a lot, which can change the type of shot that I'm trying to get. Sometimes it's fun when there's things in front, especially with sports. It's moving really fast and there's a lot of people. Racking focus provides a nice little effect in camera. And you don't really get that with autofocus. At least you can't really determine what it's going to look like as much as you can manually. If my subject is changing really fast, that's also something to consider. I'll probably shoot manually because my hand is going to be faster than what my camera can do. I've worked with people that exclusively shoot in autofocus, and the editing is just going to be very different because I see their footage, and no matter how good it is, depending on how long of a shot you're trying to get and all that kind of stuff, the autofocus is going to fail at some point. It's going to jump onto something else, or it's going to pulse, or something's going to happen. Whereas manually, if you get to be good enough, you can be pretty precise at all times. It just requires a lot more focus on your shot, and you have to do a lot more. It can get tough when you're shooting manually and you want to zoom in really fast on something, which I like to do in baseball. Pitching is really great. You zoom in as the ball's coming in. It's a nice effect. And it takes a couple shots sometimes, but how clean the shot comes out is definitely worth it. So my recommendation is to do both and learn the scenarios that you're shooting that maybe are better for manual and maybe better for autofocus. And sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes you got to hold the camera like out. It's an autofocus shot. Hopefully you get it. But just know that not everybody gets focus every time. And it's all about preference, and it's all about what you get used to and what you practice. So just keep practicing, basically.